What's up, everybody? This is Edward back with another video, another episode of Everybody Hates Black Men. I'm your host, Edward Anderson. And what inspired this video, shout out to Glendon Cameron. He has a new YouTube channel. I won't, it's basically a YouTube channel really about, giving men insight into how to develop themselves further, not just outside of finance, but doing the inner game and personal work on it. His channel is relatively small. So I do have it on the community tab. If you all want to check it out, I will be removing it from the community tab, but unless you all like request it, because I have very much respect for Glendon wanting to grow that channel in the way that he wants it, and that's why if you go into that community tab, I make it very clear here. If you're going to be in the red pill marketing department, like Glendon has this thing about calling shit marketing departments, which is actually really funny and really good. It's really creative. But if you're in the pro black marketing department, the red pill marketing department, the you feel some type of way about listening to information from black men, because they're older, marketing department, Smurgo, and I also say this is kind of inspired by Smurgo as well, by the way, too. So shout out to him. Or yeah, or anything else that says that on there, because I don't want y'all to go in there and embarrass me. Then don't even click on the link. If you're not really a fan of Glendon, don't even click on the link. Because what I don't want is for people going in there and then you agree with some stuff, but you disagree with some stuff, and then y'all want to be hyper focused on what you disagree with. I don't agree with nobody 100%. And there's all and he's definitely more than qualified to, and I think one of the best dudes, given what his past is, his background is, a guy that has been married, a guy that has been homeless, a guy that has, he definitely can understand. And by the way, his channel is not just for black men, it's for all men. So out of respect for that, I'll probably pull that down. I just wanted to let y'all know it was there. So those of y'all like Don Clips on it want to see it can see it, and then it'll be up to y'all to find it on your own. I'll reference it every once in a while. So yeah, there's that. So y'all better click on the link, because probably tomorrow that link ain't gonna be there. And unless y'all actually listen to Glendon like that, y'all not gonna be able to find it unless he mentions it. Because it wasn't 100% easy for me to find it. So I wanted to say that. Also, I want to make this very clear. Shout out to Young Grizzly. We had a conversation in regarding to Brittany Renner. This has nothing to do with that. What's inspired by this, and there's a reason why I'm saying that. What's inspired by this is Glendon Cameron's video that he put up on there, which is really commenting on toxic audiences, really the kind of toxic audiences, and number one, and also this is smart. This is kind of me doing a continuation of Smurgo's what Smurgo kind of uncovered with him triggering folks on the Kevin Samuels, one of those fan pages. So kudos to him. This is what this is about. And I want to be clear about that. Yeah, I do still have PayPal, but I assume if y'all have PayPal, y'all have Cash App. But I'll make sure I post my PayPal. I mean, what do some of y'all prefer to do PayPal over Cash App? But I'll make sure I post it. If y'all want my PayPal, just ask for it. But really, I don't see why you shouldn't do the Cash App. So y'all may be wondering, why do I have Mace Windu and I really should have. Well, why do I have Mace Windu and Darth Maul? I have Mace Windu. Obviously, Darth Maul is a dark Lord of Sith, very menacing, very assassin-like. Looks like a devil. He was designed to be intimidating, to be extremely fierce. Then you have Mace Windu, somebody that is extremely powerful. But for those of y'all that don't know about Mace Windu has a ability. He has I forget what it's called, but he has a technique in his fighting style that allows him to absorb dark energy and redirect it. I forget what it's called. But that's one of the reasons why he was able to square up against Darth Sidious when Darth Sidious killed everybody, all them other um Jedi masters really, really quickly. It's not Shatterpoint. I forget what it's called, but the point is, he understood that he had a very dark nature. Vapad, yeah, it's called Vapad, and he had a dark nature because, for those of y'all don't know, there's actually a book on this. I haven't read it, and the world that Mace Windu comes from is a world apparently full of melanated people, and they're all force sensitive, but they actually lean more towards the dark side of the force because it's very wild, and so it's not calm and tame. So he even has a younger brother that's extremely powerful, even though he's not trained as a Jedi. He's very powerful. Think of it like a Zulu warrior kind of thing with the Force, and he actually whoops his ass a couple of times. And so, Mace Windu had to learn how to control this stuff. And here's what's ironic. One of the ways that Mace Windu could have potentially fell to the dark side of the Force is he believes in the code of the Jedi so much that when somebody breaks from that code, like when another Jedi even flirts with going in a slightly different direction, and that it's not even so much that they want to go completely against it and sell the code out. They might be more like Qui-Gon Jinn, where they're more of a rogue or a rebel. Rogue or a rebel. Basically, what happens is, he would get very, very angry, like almost to the point in wanting to kill a motherfucker. And that's and so imagine Samuel Jackson playing that character. So under his training, he had to learn how to, like, he was sent on missions that tested that, because they really needed to know, was this guy really gonna go bad? Because if Mace Windu went back, because Mace Windu's parents were killed, so he doesn't have the thing about, like, he's care about his parents, because he went to the Order because he was force sensitive and his parents were killed, so they gave him up. And also another thing too is, when they originally went to his planet, they said, wow, these people are all force sensitive, and they wanted one of the kids, and they said, all right, take this motherfucker. His parents killed. This is the easy one to get. And then that's how he basically doing the Jedi Order. And so they realized that if he went dark, like, he would be like on another level to deal with. And they might not be able to deal with him. So what they did, which is ironic, because then he ended up getting killed because he was going to break the Jedi code. But long story short, this is he's a very interesting person for the topic of this video. So what does this have to do with the title? Modern dating, is it business is personal? The difference is, when I communicate to you all, or when I communicate this red pill stuff, I do not expect you all to become Darth Sidious. I mean, Darth Maul. Because y'all are not Darth Sidious. Because Darth Sidious requires a certain... Because the thing about Darth Sidious is, Darth Sidious was a very long-term planner and schemer. Even though Darth Maul wasn't dumb, that wasn't Darth Maul's forte. Darth Maul was a guy that he just goes. He takes he's all about fighting. He's all about the fight, which, ironic, Mace Windu is known for loving to fight too. That's what Vapad is about. But the difference between, other than Maul and Windu, is Maul has a very strong of honor and sense of duty and code, but at the same time, he also had to understand how to temper that for the greater good. And he didn't compromise. He found a way to not compromise anything, but to still kind of be who he was within the constraints of, what the situation demanded of him. And he ended up becoming a lot more powerful for it. And another reason why I wanted to put Mace Windu out there is because Vapad is it's literally a seventh form that he created. He created it out of nothing. Well, I won't say out of nothing. He created it out of the sixth form Hold on. Let me see if I'm. Hold on 1 second. Can y'all hear me? Press 1 if y'all can still hear me. Press 1. Press 1 if y'all can still hear me. Okay. So he created, actually that's not true. He created out of the 7th form, the 6th form, which is actually the form that Darth Maul uses, which is known for very aggressive, very offense related. You have to use anger and rage to really use it. This is why Jedi are really told not to even use this form. But see, the thing about the form Mace Windu created is if you don't understand how to use the form, his form, which is a 7th form, you can actually fall into the dark side. And that's why, you had to get special permission to create that form. And Anakin, by the way, wasn't given permission and got real pissed off because everybody else has fell into the dark side to learn the form. Even the person that helped Mace Windu create the form fell to the dark side. I think his name was Sora Bulk. So what the fuck? Yeah, that's what I said. Juyo already existed, and then he created a 7th form. He created his own variation. So whatever, Don Calypso. But you get what I'm saying. The point is that remember when I say there is no one size fits all solution. Only options, and you all are going to have to create a like whatever works for you in your own personal situation, because all of us come from different backgrounds, all of us have different physical attributes, different mental attributes. We all are in different regions. Some of them have higher costs of living than others. Some of us are dealing with more racism than others, more gentrification than others, more higher crime than others. Some of y'all are more plugged in with your family, influence them more than others. Some of us have 9 to 5, some of us don't. Some of us, a few of us can be international, so we're very mobile. Some of us got kids, some of us don't. A few of us are married. So within that, you have to craft, you have to say, okay, this is the environment, this is where I'm trying to go, and this is how I craft it. Versus Darth Maul, it's very offensive, very confrontational, we're going to destroy this. Now, make no mistake, I am not a fan of the gynocracy, but understand that, for the Sith to destroy the Republic, that took 1,000 years for them to do that. And they had to do it from behind the scenes. In fact, the way Darth Maul is because Darth Maul was technically not supposed to be a Sith Lord. Darth Maul was supposed to be like Asajj Ventress or like one of them other dark acolytes, because Darth Maul doesn't have really the temperament. He was designed to be a weapon. And when I see a lot of how certain people behave audience wise, and here, let's be very fair here. A lot of the folks we get blamed for what a lot of white guys do. A lot of the white boys or black international guys be some of the ones that go the hardest. Like, it's not a lot of ADOS black folks that make up, like, for instance, Fresh and Fit's stuff. Now, for Alpha Male Strategies, that's not true. For Alpha Male Strategies, it is a much bigger percentage, I would argue, of ADOS black people. But to be fair, the Black Manosphere in particular, and I want to be clear, Glenn is not talking about just the Black Manosphere. He's talking about Red Pill in general. So I'll be fair with that. But I will say, we all, when it came to that lion shit, we pretty much all in unison said, that's not cool. If for nothing else, you're literally creating karma that's going to come back at you by doing that. Because when you lie to women that blatantly, you justify in a woman's mind. It doesn't matter if you lie or not, but when you lie, you very much so, very acceleratedly justify anything she wants to do to you. If you lie to her, she will justify lying to you. That's facts. And maybe she may not get you, but she'll get the next person. And the problem is, you live in a society that validates a woman's lies. Your lies are not going to be validated. Hers will. And so do you really want to create that situation and make stuff harder for yourself? Now, And I understand, and I understand. And one of the things that tripped Mace Windu up early on was, and this is ultimately actually what got him killed, was the righteousness of stuff. You know, I tell you all, I've said this once and I'll say it again. I understand, but you being right don't mean shit. You being morally right or righteous, I've said this before when referring to Fresh and Fit, it don't mean shit. In the world of marketing, and even Glendon has said this. He said some of the best people with the best information. He referred to somebody that had a Turo channel, ain't got no views, because that's not the society that you're in. Like, I think of that movie, The Equalizer, the trailer, where Denzel Washington says, you know, he was talking about a book that he read. He was talking to Chloe's character, saying she was asking him what he was reading, and he said it's a book about a knight in shining armor in a world where knight in shining armor doesn't exist anymore, meaning the society doesn't reflect it. I know people are making fun of people when they make that comment, we live in a society that blah blah blah, but that's very true. We do. And right doesn't matter. They made a decision that a long time ago that money is over everything. Being right is irrelevant. And although if you want to be a righteous person and have a code based on that, I understand that, and that's how I live my life. I am under no illusions as to what being right is. That's not how that's not how this country looks at shit. It's just not. And saying that I'm going to stand on that hill, you know, you can, but what that's going to do, shout out to the lead attorney, is that's going to drive you up the that's going to fuck with y'all. It really is. An inability to let that shit go and accept kind of what you're seeing and deal with it as you accept it, it's going to fuck with y'all, man. It really is. It's going to fuck with your mental health. It really is. And I don't say that just to say that. So I am gonna bring a couple of situations into this, but the first thing I want to bring in, because this is the most important, is the okay, shout out to Smurgo. And I'm annoyed. I'll say that those motherfuckers deleted that goddamn post. Even though I still have it, some bullshit. Actually, do I still have it? I don't have it. I don't have it. And I'm mad. I'm annoyed. But I still got some screenshots. So let me see if I can pull up the screenshots. Because I want y'all, because y'all won't believe. If I tell you how ridiculous some of this bullshit is, y'all won't believe me. Crap. All right, let me make sure, because I want to make sure I got these. All right. I want to pull some of this stuff up while I'm talking, so y'all can see the ridiculousness of this bullshit. Now this is brought to you by Smurgo. Smurgo was in the chat. Smurgo was not in the chat. Smurgo was one of my resident contrarians. And he was in one of the Kevin Samuels Facebook groups. These are Facebook groups that are not associated, Kevin Samuels does not control them anyway. They're not directly associated with Kevin Samuels. They are a fan page group. And there's about 5 of them now. And this one is washed. I'm telling you right now, this one's been infiltrated. But anyway, he was in this group, and it literally says Kevin Samuels fan group. And he put, and let me see if I can, because the most important thing is for you all to get the original. What is it? Yeah, this is the original post, and I'm gonna read it real quick. The original post by Smurgo is the only way I'd consider seriously dating a single mother. And I am so glad the lead attorney is in here, because I don't, I know you're probably sleep or whatever, but I want you to at least hear this to see if this is really ridiculous. Now, Smurgo can be kind of whatever. Let's go. The only way I'd consider seriously dating a single mother is if she gives full custody of the children to her baby daddy, relinquishes all rights to her kids to the father, and I never actually have to see the kids at all at any point. Any interaction with the father after that regarding the kids can be done through the court if absolutely necessary, but I don't want to see nor hear about her kids. If she's not willing to do that to be with me, then she clearly cares more about another man's seed than being my wife, so she just needs to go back to him at that point and stop wasting everyone's time. So do I agree with the court thing? No. I think, but what I said before and what I'm going to say again is, Smurgo, this post, as you all can see, got 99 shares and 1,100 comments. So it clearly did the job as creating a conversation. That's number one. Number two, yeah, I can, take out the going to see him in court and all of that. But the point that he said still stands, which is basically you need to give full custody and full custody to the father of the child so they can live with them, basically. And, most people will agree with that. As far as I don't want to see it, hear from it again, I get all of that. That's Smurgo. And so if you look at the actual comments, they go along with this. As you all can see, Kevin Samuels fans. And these were screenshots I personally took, by the way. So this is actually a public thing. Let's go through some of the comments so you can realize. Now, I want to understand. I'm not going to read the female comments. Shout out to Ty City who's in here. This is going to be fun. I'm going to read just the men's comments. I expect women to feel some type of way. And yes, they do. Okay. But that's not where what else is new, right? But I want to read the men's comments. So one man said, his name is Ken Roy Lamont, and I've checked. These are men's pages. These are men's profiles. Dude, I don't date single mothers either, but your idea is fucked up and cruel. Now, I want you to understand what Smurgo said. Smurgo did not say to give up children to the state. He said to give up children to the father that helped created them. Now, you always hear motherfuckers say that a black man needs to take care of his responsibility. You hear black men say that as well as black women. So right now, we're going to focus on the men for a second. We hear men say that, right? Very few men that's on some abandon the kid shit. So Smurgo was saying to give it up to the father that created those kids. That's what he was saying. So we're going to assume that the man that you created it is worth actually being a father, because, black women would never have a kid by a man that's not a good father, right? So anyway, let's continue. Smurgo responds. Antoine D. Bates says, no childless woman wants to give up her free time for you, but you expect someone to give up their kids. So that's a ad hominem. That's nothing to do with the actual question, but that's a dude that's triggered. Jay Teague says she definitely should concentrate on her kids. Now, keep in mind, the idea is that this woman wants to get married, or this woman wants to actually be in a dating market and be taken seriously, assuming not somebody is just going to be relegated to just being fucked and left. Pump and dump style. Shout out to Ramil. So this is what this is all assumed. Oh, yeah, by the way, just to make we'll go through the women's comments. I want to go through the men's first. I don't want to belittle that, because the women say some interesting stuff too. Brooklyn Taylor, damn nigga, you might as well live with lions and tigers. Elvis Malcolm. If you really, now Elvis actually agrees. If you really think about it, the key word is think about it. He has a point. And the choice is ultimately hers to make. Her choice are either to wait until the child is grown before she starts dating again. That's that thinking he's doing. Oh shit. Or to give her child full custody to the father if she's looking to start dating again. Now, to give you a scenario, let's say you're dealing with a female that had a kid young. Let's say you're dealing with a female that had a kid at 20 and then the kid is 10 or 11 years old. Okay, now the kid's old enough to where, discipline is on point. And this doesn't matter if the man doesn't want the kids or not. We can make the assumption the man wants the kids. You see what this response is? They don't even get into that. Let's go. Billy Smith, then you probably shouldn't date single mothers. Keep in mind, this is in a Kevin Samuels supposed fan group. Kevin has suggested this to women before. Where's the dad? Where's the father? Why can't you? He's done this more than a few times. So he's not against this. But these people are literally trying to frame what he said as you're abandoning the child. Because I only got so many screenshots. Yusef Joy Malloy said, ladies, just FYI, if you put me before your child, I would never respect you. I'd smash, but wouldn't respect you. That's crazy. Benji Bars Blizz. It's one thing to not want to date a single mother. I don't want to either. Keep that in mind. He says he doesn't want to date a single mother. But the cutting her kids out of her life for a man completely is different form of controlling. That is not what he said. What he said is let them and I'm gonna tell you, I'm glad Smurgo worded it the way that he does. This is his personality anyway, always doing too much. But in this situation, this works. And it shows because this had 1,000 comments. I didn't get the opportunity to go through these comments because you asshole pricks deleted the post because you're cowards. Anyway, they literally deleted the post as I was going through it in my original video. But the way he worded it just enough to give them plausible possibility to do what black people do, which is take something and spin it out of orbit. And what I'm showing you right now, this is what the gynocracy is. Fuck the women for a second. Look at what the men are saying. And this is in a supposed Kevin Samuels fan group. So we cannot say that we don't know that Kevin Samuels does not draw strong lines on these things. I want you to show them because people always think I'm beating up on women with the algorithm. But this is one of the pillars of the gynocracy. Dumbass niggas. They don't have to agree with Smurgo. But when you see how they're spinning off, literally off left field, look at the hyperbolic language they're using. Aaron Parker, just stay away from him, LOL. Another man's kids will always come before the life you want to build with her. Fine. But the thing about, but even the way he says it, the reality is what Smurgo proved is why men shouldn't even bother even saying nothing. They should just not date him or just date him for sex and that's it. He pretty much proved this. Now the women say some off the chain stuff as usual, but let's see. Keyshawn Baker, bruh, just admit you're wrong. Have you had even one person agree with you? Yes, we have had one. Robert R. Dennis, a single mother with a PhD, says she deserves a high-earning man. She get the man she deserves. He said the only way for us to marry, I don't know what the fuck he said, she would have to give full custody to her kids to the father. That type of man deserves what he wants as well. So we got two. Shout out to Robert. And then he doesn't get a like. He gets a, oh, I can't believe you said it. Ryan Vertical. And these are not ADOS motherfuckers either. This is ADOS dysfunction. Now you see why I separate, I segment ADOS dysfunction. Our shit is like COVID. We need a special wing. for our mental health. Ryan Vertical, and these are all black men, by the way, because I checked. At least clicked on the profiles. LMAO, dude, I dated a girl with kids. I actually didn't mind. Okay, well, you're cool with that. The kids at all, I enjoyed spending time with them. The only thing I didn't like was she was so caught up with what her ex-husband was doing. That should give you a fucking clue. But this was an ex-husband, so I can understand that. If you're a woman and all you do is say how crappy you're, well, okay, I didn't finish that, but that's a clue, dog. That's a clue, dude. Bag boy BJ, I wouldn't even be turned on by a woman who would abandon her kids for me. You niggas are weird as fuck on me. Keep in mind, this is not a random group. This is a group that came up under Kevin Samuels, meaning we can assume they all listen to his content. Lexus says that was real solid what you did. That was common law in the United States up until 1964. If she divorced and shout out, we got another thinker. Great. Remarried the kids, her belonging in the same marriage went to the father of her first set of kids. Please excuse those of us who grew up. Thank you. That's the smart. That dude deserves a gold fucking star. And this goes back to the tender years doctrine. I'm not confirming. I'm just saying I clicked on, dude. Motherfuckers are not going to go into Kevin Samuels group and then pretend to be females. I clicked on the post just to make sure what the profile was. Gabe, stop. Stop, Gabe. Stop. Jules, you're not a man unless you raise another man's children. The biological father should have no responsibility. It's a step that, okay, he's being stupid. Let me remove that. All right, so that's the other thing. Okay, so let's go over what some of the females had to say. I mean, it's going to be crazy, but just so you sound like a lawyer. That is too much work and costly. You just don't deal with them. Not really. Not really. It's no more as costly as you all putting motherfuckers on child support. Kyla, why would you want a woman willing to give up her child for a man? How is that? I mean, think about what these kids go through when it comes to child molestation. You know, when stepfathers are like generally they have the access to do that. Yet these women are talking. This is cap. How is that literally positive for you? That to me sounds like insecure, irresponsible, narcissistic person. Anyone willing to turn their back on their own child, like they literally and he. You cannot misinterpret what he said. Give it up to the baby daddy. That's what he said. But what this is showing you how deep these women think these kids are theirs. And what I want you all to understand is, and I'm going to bring this together in a second, but what I want you all to understand is that you're dealing with people that they don't believe they really see you as a utility. The men see your role as a utility. This is how ADOS black people think. You have exceptions to this rule, obviously. Let's say 20%, but 80% of them think, I'm talking about men and women, think this way to varying degrees. This is what the fuck you are marrying into more times than not. You want to get married, get married. I'm not here to tell you not to. But don't fucking tell me that, and people will say, well, I'm just looking at one Facebook group. Dude, this was 1,000 comments. This is a good test pool. And I did not, and these were the top comments. I didn't just go and cherry pick these comments. These comments were consistent. You know, and these are over the top comments. You know, Sharita, a woman who can be persuaded to leave her children. Like, they are seeing, and it's interesting because BGS stated before that the only thing that's really considered being a bad black mother is a quote unquote giving up your child to the father is considered being a bad black mother in the eyes of black people. What you see now is that a lot of men see it that way too. Now you understand why it's so hard to get your kids or get access to your kids. Because this is the culture now. Wasn't always the case. Shout out to DeSuvius. Due to judicial system conditioning our community for over a century. I wouldn't say over a century, but some women can't comprehend giving a child to their fathers. Oh, don't forget the ones that see children as currency. Yeah, this is the culture. This is outside of the legal system. This is just what motherfuckers are out here thinking. And you notice this is pretty bipartisan from a gender standpoint. These dudes are saying the absolute ridiculous shit. These dudes are essentially saying that a woman that would give their children up to a woman that would give their children up to the father of their child. We're not talking about, when I say, I shouldn't even say give them up. I'm saying give them custody. That they are literally kind of implying that there is no low, in the way they're making it sound, that a prostitute, they're lower than a prostitute. That's how these guys are talking. And they deleted the post. Man, they were smart for deleting the post. This is crazy. And by the way, these are the same women that will sit there and say, when is a man going to step up for their responsibility? The dudes too. When are men going to step up to their responsibility? Everything is wrong with the black community because the father is not in the home. No, you mean everything is wrong because the father's not doing with you. And that's in those situations. We have situations where women are just saying, I wanted the baby, not the man. And they control, like, this is the crazy shit. Black men are the problem. Prove me wrong. I'm not saying black men are the problem, but they are a problem. And so, what is my point to this? What is my point to this? You see what emotion gets you. Oh, by the way, with Darth Maul, notice what happened with Darth Maul. Darth Maul got his ass beat all the time because he got too deep in his emotions, even when he almost won the fight. He pulled defeat from the jaws of victory because him being his emotions. Now, granted, that and as soon as Mace Windu did that too, he lost. He lost against Sidious when he lost his cool, when he lost his perspective. And Mace Windu has the ability called Shatterpoint to actually see like possible scenarios, like in real time. And he didn't see that Anakin was about to take his fucking hand because he was like, I'm about to take this motherfucker out. So as soon as he really got into that mode, he got. And Darth Sidious was able to use that to take him out. So my point, so basically bringing this all the way back. This is the environment you're in. People can say this is one fucking Facebook group. Kiss my ass. I can tell you right now, I got the post. I can copy and paste what Smurgo did, and I can post that anywhere else or tell Smurgo to go into other Kevin Samuels groups and post, and I bet you'll get similar results. I bet you'll get similar results. I would be very interested at O'Shea or Kevin doing a poll, and I bet you, mediocre, you will get similar results. I can tell by how they reacted. That is not a unique thing. Shout out to Kendra D. Black women thinking they're in the family unit belongs to her. Kids are her property. The father is a workman. Absolutely. And my thing is the issue that I have with a lot of the pro-black stuff is we're not willing to be honest. Like, I hate when people say, well, if you want to help the black community, you need to create black families. Well, we know why black families are not being created. Black families are not being created because women are on some this shit is mind bullshit. And what you have is individuals that are making individual deals and decisions at an individual level. That's your right. I'm not here to argue against that. But what I'm saying is, if we're going to have a group conversation, there's a reason why the black community looks the way that it does. And it's not some black men abandoned shit. It's not any of that. That's the environment that you're in. So it doesn't matter. Like, and another reason why I wanted to share that with you in context of what I'm overall talking about is because those people believe they are right. That's why they said some of the ridiculous shit that they said. The men, because they believe they are so right to the point where they didn't even comprehend what he was saying. And Smurgo did not make the shit harder compliment. He said, if you want to be better in the dating market, your ass needs to, I'm not raising your kids. So you could solve the problem by giving the father custody. Perfect example. Dre literally, shout out to Judge Dre, he literally paid the mother of his children child support while he was raising his kid. I guess son, but it may have been more than one. But I know it's his son. She was getting child support, but the kid was living with him. And this wasn't for a couple of months. This was for years. Because he knew what the courts were. He said, all right, fuck it. I'll give you the money. Just give me my son. This is a problem. And nobody wants to talk about that. They want to say, well, just get married, just do this, just do that. Everything will take care of itself. No, it's not. Because as soon as these women get tired, more times than not, they're going to leave. And then they're going to have this rolling bullshit talking about, well, you're not a man enough, you're not this, you're not that, whatever, irreconcilable differences. So my point is, you have to accept reality for what it is. I'm not saying that you shouldn't go get married. That's not what I'm saying to do. Some people do it, it works out. But what I'm saying is, because here's the thing, if you get married, if you sit there and get married and you don't understand this, then you're going to pick somebody you might not pick. Versus if you have an understanding of this shit, and some of y'all got better culture backgrounds than others, so this stuff is going to be taken care of anyway, you're going to wind up doing some shit PJ Washington did. And now I want to bring in this situation with PJ Washington. All right, so, and O'Shea did a video talking about, the manosphere was really absolving PJ Washington. I completely disagree with that. Yeah, there were some channels doing it, sure. But for the most part, people were saying PJ Washington was an idiot. And, there is a school of thought, and I'm bringing this up now, where the focus should be calling out what Brittany Renner did. And let me be very clear here as to what I think about Brittany Renner. I think Brittany Renner's a whore. I think she's a slut. I think that whatever happens to her is karma. And you can use your imagination as to what that is. And I think that, quite frankly, she should be barred from being a bottle girl. She should be barred from doing it. Personally, what I think about her. Now, let me be very clear here. Brittany Renner is a mulatto bitch. So Brittany Renner is not a black woman. So Brittany Renner is not a black woman. So this is not an L for black women. Brittany Renner is a mulatto bitch. Okay, let's be very clear about that. So black women shouldn't be one to put on their fucking cape for somebody that don't phenotypically look like you. And to be honest with you, she looks like a fucking rickety white bitch with a tan that just happened to have a little bit of a body that she worked out on. That's it. Brittany, let's be clear here. Brittany Renner really don't like men, because if you look at what Brittany Renner looked like before she got work done, Brittany Renner, no. Okay. So that's what I personally think of Brittany Renner. Do I think Brittany Renner is evil? I tend to have a higher bar as to what evil is. But what I will say is that, if you lived in a different time other than a modern era, women like Brittany Renner wouldn't get far. Brittany Renner, I do think Brittany Renner is a predator. I do think she is. And I think that she feels that she's justified in what she does. And social media pretty much gives her the ability to do that, because a woman like Brittany Renner couldn't pull this bullshit without social media. She's a unique organ entity that is from what you see in this social media sector. Now, I will say PJ, and so I will also say the reason why PJ got his hits like he did, and I agree the vast majority of what O'Shea said on the flip side is because we know PJ's dad is in his life. We know the women in his life would have had no reason to be on board with an older bitch fucking up what could be their bag that they invested in. His mother, women in his family, as far as sisters and stuff, they would have had female nature would dictate that they would not like Brittany Renner, right? We know he had a high school basketball coach, an AAU basketball coach. He had the coach in Kentucky. So we know this guy had men around him as well as women that would have told him to say no. And he skipped over all that shit for what? Now, I guess the argument is that PJ is a victim, but you know, if we don't know what age he was when she got with him, you know, I'm not even going to put that out there. But just like how LiAngelo Ball right now is like apparently one of the chicks he's dealing with, one of these 32-year-old thoughts. At the end of the day, we know what LeVar Ball has openly told LaMelo is what I'm talking about. LaMelo, we know what it is. We know what he said. So if these people choose to do what they do, then that is what it is. It's just like with Russell Wilson. People may have their reasons, but they're just like Kanye West, who chose to get with Kim K. That worked out for him more than it didn't. But my thing is, grown men are going to make grown-ass choices, and they're going to have to deal with grown-ass results. And so, this is not about blaming PJ. This is about saying, dude, you know what you were, you know where you were going, you know what you have to lose. Look, man, you know, I'm not an NBA person. I can't really talk to that. But if people are going to do what they want to do, then it is what it is. I mean, BGS talks about this all the time about the dudes in his family where Pussy basically defeated him on some Batman and Bane shit. Pussy defeated them because they allowed, you know, almost too much pussy to pretty much fuck up their drive to do shit. And as a man, that's something you have to protect. Now, obviously, that's a good problem to have. I'm not going to act like it's not. But the thing about it is, saying Brittany Renner is bad. Well, I mean, I don't know what else has to be done. Do we need to take a brand and take her head and put a fucking metal brand on it saying, whore, don't fuck this? Do you realize that there's men that will fuck a female that has a sexually transmitted disease? Oh, it's just herpes. I've always stood very firm that if a man knows what a woman is, then at that point, that's on you. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. Y'all in the chat. Did PJ Washington marry Brittany Renner? Did PJ Washington marry Brittany Renner? Say yes if yes, no if no. I'm waiting for some answers. Do you all know? Because they said Brittany Renner divorced PJ Washington. Okay, because some reason motherfuckers are saying that they divorced, like she divorced him after the baby. Yeah, saying that there was rumors that he did. Yeah, and I don't think he's paying $200,000 either. Okay, so we'll assume he didn't. We'll assume he didn't get married. But the thing about it is, you know, my argument is, and I still stand. She had a book and all the info she put on IG. Can't say he can't. Well, yeah, so that's an extreme. And what you find, even and here's the thing: I'm not here to tell nobody to not get what's coming to Brittany Renner. But at the end of the day, you know what society you live in. You know what society living. I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you. If the way Brittany, because a lot of thoughts are jumping on Brittany Renner because she's making the block hot. And if you really wanted to make people suffer, what you do is you make sure that nobody else can do. You make it a lot harder to pull this move. You make it a lot harder to pull this move again, and you make it known that the laws. When I say laws, the bro code got changed up because of what Brittany Renner did. That's how you do that. But it's always seen as either you're letting her off the hook and you're just jumping on him. He's a victim. She's evil. Yes, she is bad. I understand that. But saying that a woman is bad is look, I'll say it this way. I'll say it this way. Back in the day and earlier in this space, we used to talk about, dudes, street, like, well, not street dudes, but Pookies and Ray Rays. And you had the Pookie and Ray Rays educated lane wars, where, and then all these dudes that are getting these women pregnant, and then he's, whatever. The point being is saying that Pookies and Ray Rays don't build or are not productive, that's not stopping black women from having a baby now, is it? I mean, is that stop? Black women are still fucking these niggas. Black women are still having kids with these niggas. That's not changing anything. And I've told, what did I tell that woman, that last woman, like a couple females ago that came on my shit? I said that black women are told to get their money and their education so they don't have to depend on a black man. She confirmed. I said that black women are told to not trust black men. She confirmed. I said that black women are told, like, they're told all these things. They are raised to not trust black men, to not put themselves in a position where they need a black man. Yet they still end up fucking they still end up fucking a Pookie and Ray Ray nigga. They actually, a lot of these women have preferences for those dudes. And what do? They literally hear it in the music. And what do? They end up talking about how bad a baby daddy is. Like Young Miami just got done saying, the worst type of nigga is a deadbeat dad. But these are the niggas you go out of your way to have sex with. That is not an accident, as Roger Report would say. It's the same thing in reverse. If you see that a woman is a bad chick and you still choose to nut in her, it's not about saying she's allowed to be a bad female. But it's not the society's job. Now, see, people want to make the argument that she was dealing with him when she was 17. Even let's say that is true. The society doesn't care. That's the truth. And black men yelling about it is not going to make them care. Kareem, Kevin Samuels, and BGS Igmore have already had this discussion. Y'all keep talking about giving up. I don't know why. Like, Kareem, do you not understand that when we say giving custody to the father, that doesn't mean giving your kids away? Like, I need to understand that. Do y'all not understand that? I don't know why y'all acting like we saying to put your kids in foster care or some shit. Like, for real, y'all make it. I've been in foster care. That ain't what we talking about. Like, I can't, like, y'all keep saying that shit. Like, I want somebody to affirm that y'all understand that that nobody is saying to give the kids up to the state. And by the way, that's how most cultures work anyway. Like, that shit kills me. And I'm glad Kareem reaffirmed that, because you've seen Kareem come up on here, and Kareem has some common damn sense. So that I'm glad she said that, because now that ain't just some shit I cherry picked. This is how the society thinks. And what I want y'all to understand why that's important is that's very, very, very important, because now you start to then she's stuck, Christopher. That's an irrelevant question. We're going to assume he's not, because most of these dudes, they're not dead. No, it's not implied, Ronald. That's not what it's implied. He said, and I'm taking that part out of it. It's not implied. No, it's not implied. He said, give it up to the father, and the only way you need to deal with them kids away from him. That's what he said. Stop trying to make it something it's not. And the fact that y'all are dudes saying that, y'all are proving my point. I'm glad y'all proving it, so y'all can y'all folks can't act like that I'm just pulling out of my ass. PJ and Renner never got married. That's some MTO bullshit. You know they need to make BS juicy for clicks. Yeah, no, well, I've heard other people repeat that, but that's probably the source. Shout out to Super Duper for the $5 super chat. Talk about it's implied. I disagree about this issue. Why marry some with children if you want to, if you won't, I guess, won't accept their children? Well, this is why black men don't say to not deal with single mothers in the first place. But that's the argument, Kareem. That's the argument. That's the point. And that's why dudes are saying just don't deal with women with single mothers. And what dudes tend to do is they say, look, I'm gonna have sex with them, but I'm not gonna take them seriously. Now you see that this is an actual argument. And a lot of y'all want to make it seem like motherfucker, this is why dudes do that. Because when you give y'all options, y'all don't know how to act with them. Like y'all really don't believe that the father has the right to the children. Y'all really don't believe that. Blackfoot, compare how they feel they are abandoning their kids to how they feel taking the kids from the father is okay. Absolutely. These are the same, and I know Kareen ain't doing this, but these are the same women that will validate other women putting walls up in order for their kid, the father. These are the same women that keep their kids from the father. And I'm not talking about you, Kareen. I'm just talking about that mentality. Well, Kareem, you know who I'm talking about. I know I'm not talking about you. And I'm glad because I'm focusing on the dudes. I expect the women to kind of be on this because you all have a chemical connection to the kids. It's the dudes that caught me off guard. I expect the women to have kind of Kareem's position. Actually. It's the kid. Like even you saying we don't got kids. No, even still, because if you have kids, like the thing about that's crazy. I mean, this shows you, and shout out to Ease, who's not Ados. Like this is, I'm showing you, and Kareen is Jamaican, but this is where we're part. But you got dudes that really believe this too. But anyway, this is I just took a point. But anyway, like I said, going back to like I said with the Brittany Renner situation, I mean, at the end of the day, I don't know what else. Like it's like people want. And I'm like, you live in a society where Zimmerman basically killed a black kid and black people didn't do shit about that. So again, it's not about letting her off the hook, but getting on YouTube and saying she's a bad person is not going to change her life. It's not. It's not. Like, I'm going to tell you, it was one time with some of these porn stars with the LGBT community would basically call a chick a whore, a slut, die, kill yourself. And they would run campaigns on women like that until they actually did off themselves. That happened to a couple of porn stars. They won't talk about that because you can't denigrate the LGBT community. And that's happened like in the last couple of years. Like before, that happened like 2 years before COVID. So ain't nobody, we already know that you're not going to be able to put a campaign like that on Brittany Renner because she's going to be seen as a victim in the eyes of society. You have to accept the society that you're in and navigate in it. Just like how we live in a racist society, it's not like as racist as it could be, but you have to deal with that shit. Yeah, Ronald, you pulled that out. That's not what Smurgo said, though. That's not what Smurgo said. Going native is saying stop saying can't. Well, the reason why I'm saying that is because people's idea of getting a woman told manifests in, fresh and fit, throwing women out, and basically Kevin Samuels jumping on females as far as verbally. And there is a certain segment of y'all that y'all like to see that. And the reality is that doesn't really change shit. It really doesn't. I know you ain't talking to me, native. Because if you got something to say here, you can jump on the link. Because I don't even know if you know what the fuck you even talking about. Okay, so if you talking to me, bring your ass on the panel. Bring your ass up. Since you got so much to say, I was actually about because you ain't really said. All you said is, "How am I a grown man?" You ain't even said shit. You're not saying anything. What is flawed about my logic? No, this is just for going native. What is flawed about my logic? Going native, or are you just talking shit? You got like 2 comments to make some sense. You got comment number 1. Am I afraid of gays? That's 1. You got 1 more comment to make some fucking sense, or you're out of here. You better make it count. You can either bring your ass up on here, or you can say some stupid shit, and so you can get blocked. Because you didn't even make a comment that made sense. You just did some trigger shit. Better make it count. I don't give a fuck. Oh, yep. Okay. So you're going to say Hitler. Okay, good. Yep. Bye-bye. No, he didn't leave. He just, like, he's saying one word sentences. You scared of gays? Yeah, I don't deal with niggas just talking. Well, I mean, I don't give a fuck. I mean, this nigga's saying Hitler. Are you afraid of gays? You're not a man. You ain't saying shit. You ain't gonna be like, you can disagree. Well, Kobe, I'm actually about to end this shit. I mean, I ain't even. Yeah, Kobe, I'm actually about to end this shit. I mean, you can disagree with me. It's cool. But if you're gonna sit here and you actually not gonna make a disagreement, you just gonna say stupid shit because you're triggered. I don't deal with that. I don't have the patience for that. Well, I'm about to go to sleep. But yeah, man, I found that like it's crazy because again, you got people out here talking about, well, we need to create families, we need to do this, we need to do that. Let me be very clear here. Black people don't need to do shit until black people actually solves their um until black people solve their mental health issues, aka or their cultural mental health issues. We don't need to do shit because all that's going to happen is the same shit's going to happen again. And what a lot of folks are really doing is trying to get dudes to basically come back in the fold. That's all that is. And ain't nobody going to tell me nothing different. And real talk, and a lot of people will talk about, well, what about Glennon? Well, Glennon said straight up, he dates mainly white women because they got 2-parent households. That's what he prefers. He prefers 2-parent household people, whether they black or whatever. So, hey, Edward, Danica Marie just did a video today about successful men not dealing with women with kids. Females are mad as hell. Check it and do the video. Danica, I won't say she's a clock right 3 times a day. Danica's right about 7 times, about 8 times a day. The problem is those 4 times, those are some big clocks. Those are big times. They are looking for the anti-life equation. I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, you know, Danica, remember, Danica's running a YouTube channel. I mean, of course, she's going to say she's going to throw some shit in there, but remember, she's the same person that said that if you're not going to be with the child's father, you should change their last name. That's some disrespectful shit, especially considering the woman nut allowed to do the nut in him and had the kid. So she's the same person. So yeah, saying something every once in a while, there's some real critical shit that she needs to kind of account for. She's got a couple of little like matriarch isms like that. So yeah, she know how to throw folks a rope. She's not dumb. I have baby mama anger. Peace out. I ain't got kids. I don't know what the fuck y'all talking about. Talking about I got anger and shit. I mean, motherfuckers kill me. Like, y'all really be going out of y'all way to create profiles just so y'all could, like, say some shit. I mean, it takes me 2 clicks to knock y'all off. She said, "It's another nemesis type of umbrella." I mean, look, man, Danica Marie is. I don't have a personal issue with her, but Danica Marie is like one of these people that tries to lull. She's one of the smarter ones trying to lull dudes in. That's all that is. She's trying to take you off your shit. You know, if I'm on long enough, it's always going to be trolls that show up. Yeah, I'm not telling you not to watch Danica. But I watched Danica all the way back in Facebook. So I know what she's about. I'm not saying she's a bad person. I'm not saying that. I mean, she's got a following. That's great. But what I'm saying is if we need to have a real conversation and not have these conversations where women think if they show the fuck up. Yeah, I appreciate it. Somebody else blocked that motherfucker. Go do the Simon Phoenix. Yeah, a lot of them make good points here or there. He said, make sure I podcast on Tuesday. All right, no, I definitely will. The difference is the difference is like, I don't have to have, and this is what I'm talking about. A lot of y'all will have this like, y'all want a woman to get told. Understand something. There's nothing you can do to these women that the wall is not going to do worse. The wall is going to fuck them up. The wall, karma, Darwinism, whatever you all want to call it. Time will fuck their ass up. Remember, time will erode the most strongest of shit. And it's not, and so the best thing you can do is focus on living your best life. And it's about business. Like, I didn't even really jump on the title as much as I wanted to. Y'all are taking things personally. Like, let me see if I can pull this up real quick. I can't find the scene, but in it, it was a scene that said, um, you know, you took it so personally. Why didn't like you took it so personally? Why didn't you just kill yourself or let it go and then blah blah blah? You can't take this stuff personally. You can't take it that personally, yo. You just can't. A lot of this has to be business. And a lot of these women, when we say, you know, somebody doesn't want to date a single mom, or even if they say that, you know, I'm gonna have sex with a single mom, but I'm not gonna take them seriously, as long as you're not lying and selling her dreams and shit, which I don't support, it's business. It's business. Like that's all it is. And a lot of y'all want to live in this righteousness, and it's like, yo, that shit will burn your ass up inside. It's business. It's business. You know, it's about doing what's in your best interest. It's not about doing nothing to a female. It's about doing what's in your best interest. You know, people talk about pumping and dumping. Well, no, you're pumping and dumping women that's already on a hoe phase. You didn't put them in that situation. And let's be clear here. When these women were virgins, these women were looking to get fucked. These women are not put in situations where, oh, well, you know, they just had no choice. They go out of their way to look for shit like that. I don't know where all of the Japanese language is coming from, but you know, so it's just business. So I sometimes I'm very a lot of times I'm very passionate on this stuff, but ultimately once you see what it is, you're like, oh, okay, I just need to apply the discourse and do what's in my best interest. That's it. And what they try to do is what people try to, when I say they, I mean black men and black women, they try to inflict this guilt on you. And I'm like, if you all care about the community so much, you will resolve the problems that people are saying. Meaning, you will address these issues. You want black people to be together, fine. You need to address these issues. Like, there's no way around that. And everybody's like, well, we know we can't address the issue, so we just need y'all to stay a little longer, a little longer, a little longer, a little longer. And they find ways. That's where that sign language comes from. They find shame, insult, guilt. Like, and it becomes, okay, we need to find a way to lie to black men to keep black men in the community. This is why I tell people, I tell black women, if you can't stand black men, okay, that's cool. Go date out. Go be great. That's the business. I don't take it personally. I don't take it personally. Go be great. Go be great. Go be great. And I'm not being sarcastic. I actually I have black women that I'm cool with or I deal with business wise stuff like that to deal with white men or non-black men. I don't get triggered. Now some of y'all do. I don't. So when I say that, I mean it, because I'd rather them shut the fuck up and go get a white man and be happy than be out here on some as a Fantastic said, he did a follow up to his other stream, some clubhouse shit, talking about I hate black men, I hate black men, I hate black men, I hate black men. To the point, and there's another thing. Now what you're starting to see is you're really starting to see the delusion. I'm about to end this video, but you're starting to see the delusion really come out. Like y'all gonna see some crazy shit towards the end of the year going into next with the winter. Once this moratorium and stuff kicks in, y'all gonna start seeing some crazy shit. Because these women at this point, all they tend to know how to do is say the same shit louder and more intense. That's all they're doing. Now they talking about, well, we lose money when we date black men. Like now it's like they have a hatred for the black men that they're choosing. And this is why I've told you all, I've armed you all, do not argue with them. I have told you all Yeah, have a good night, Theo. And I remember you on that Tuesday. I've told folks, you all need to just start telling them, go get a white man and be done with it. Go get a non-black man and be happy. Go be great. Why are you sitting here? If black men are so bad, why are you wasting your time trying to change black men? Like, seriously. Why are we having this conversation? That's what more y'all need to say. And what you're starting to find is y'all starting to find that a lot of dudes think gynocratic. I told you, we're in the minority. We are not in the majority. I get you, Aaron. The why don't matter though. Yeah, Mr. Research said it before I said it, but Mr. Research did not say what I said as a way of leaving them. If you don't like black men, go be great and date out. I don't know whose permission you're waiting for. Yeah. And here's the thing. I say that because people always say, well, you must hate black women or you're too weak to date black women. Fuck it. I am. Not me. I mean, I date black women. But hey, whatever. It doesn't matter, right? Because it ain't like that's y'all gonna solve that problem. So why do you care? See, black women would never say, black men, if you think you could do better than me, I challenge you to try. They won't say that. They won't say that. And that tells you a lot about where the problems really lie. Because remember, black women can date 980's black men too. If black men are so bad, Caribbeans are bigger than us. You want to get black men that's got family ties? Well, Caribbeans do too, but Africans, Tasha K got an African. Y'all don't have to date Ado's black men. Supposedly, Paris does. Like, y'all don't have to do that. But see, the problem is, we know a lot of the bullshit y'all do is going to go over there. Y'all know this. And now you're dealing with a man that ain't got to tolerate it as much. So you're gonna hear a lot of crazy things. A lot of women just throw black men. They're gonna throw everything in the mud. It's gonna get louder. It's really gonna get louder before it gets better. Like they're gonna say black men are evil. They hate. Because that's the only play they know how to run. That's the only play they know how to run is basically being angry at black men and blaming black men. That's the only play they know how to run. But anyway, y'all, I appreciate it. I gave y'all another hour and 18 minutes, you know. But yeah, man. I mean, trust me. If I was what's that Underworld movie where if I was in the council was voting for that chick to be put in the sun, I'd be right there with you. But my thing, I'm one of them guys. It's like, yo, to make this vote, y'all gonna have to get the stuff lined up because I don't see it. But if we get in that position, we can do that. But my thing is, if you and I'll leave you all with this: if you look at what's a scenario that will punish, like I said before, that will punish Brittany Renner. A scenario that will punish Brittany Renner would be if NBA players start saying that any podcast that she's on, anybody that fucks with her, y'all don't fuck with us. But are they gonna do that? Are they gonna do that? Any podcast, any club, any of y'all that fuck with her, y'all don't fuck with us. But then they're gonna say, okay, we'll get NFL players. Anybody, that's what they should do. Especially after she said that, well, the ball players are dumb. They should make an example of her. I'm not against that. But the thing about it is, us yelling that on YouTube, we got better things to do than that. At the end of the day, if y'all want to sit there and fuck with strippers and shit, I kind of don't want to hear y'all complain about whores if y'all want to lay with whores. I really don't. Because I'm gonna tell you the same thing I told these females that like to play with these dudes. That's got multiple kids. Y'all knew what you were playing with. And I don't, and just like how I don't want to hear the she was young bullshit, I apply that to dudes. I have some empathy for PJ, but the truth is PJ's not done yet. Chris Brown can get it down to like 3,000 a month. PJ can too. PJ has options. But even the way PJ was even responding, where he was trying, cause think about it, PJ was trying to make people get mad at her. He was sitting there, oh well, look, he lied, she lied. It's like, no, dude, that's not how the world is gonna see it. They're not gonna see you as a victim. And our job here is to educate black men on that. They're not gonna see you as a victim. So if you try to use the plays that they use, it's not gonna work. Anyway, shout out to Trenches for $2. Appreciate that. It is sickening. It is. Yeah, red pill. Oh man, Pete Jim Brad, don't say that. Red pill nigga wake up call. The red pill wake up call. And a lot of these niggas are gonna get it. And I'm gonna tell you something. The dudes that say fuck us and choose to fuck with women, fuck with a lot of these women anyway, and they get fucked, those people are gonna be worse because they're gonna feel a lot more betrayed. But yeah, anyway, I just wanted to put those thoughts off. So I appreciate y'all. Um, yeah. So with that being said, this is Edward signing off. Peace.